Hello, I am going to talk about a copyright lesson for 5th grade and the Assure model. The A in the Assure model stands for Analyze Learners. The general characteristics for my class are 5th grade students from various backgrounds, most reading at or above grade level. For entry competencies, the students know how to search the internet, but they are unfamiliar with copyright rules. Learning differences and needs of students. The students enjoy discussion, interacting with peers, and integrated technology. For this particular assignment, differently abled students will pair with other students for the project, and gifted students can make the project as elaborate as they would like. The first S stands for state standards. We're looking at curriculum standards and technology standards. The AASL standards for this lesson are curate, demonstrate safe, legal, and ethical creating and sharing of knowledge products independently while engaging in a community of practice and an interconnected world. Create, learners use valid information and reasoned conclusions to make ethical decisions in the creation of knowledge by 1. Ethically using and reproducing others' work, 2. Acknowledging authorship and demonstrating respect for the intellectual property of others, 3. Including elements in personal knowledge products that allow others to credit content appropriately. The technology standards for this assignment, we're going to look at the ISTE standards for students, 1.2.c, which says it's under digital citizen, and it says students demonstrate an understanding of and respect for the rights and obligations of using and sharing intellectual property. And the second part of that first S is objectives. Here are the learning objectives for this copyright lesson. Number 1, following a presentation on copyright law, the 5th grade students will answer the following questions with a partner. What are the 4 rights you have as a copyright owner? Give an example of something not protected by copyright law. What is copyright infringement? And give an example of an appropriate use of a copyrighted work under the fair use doctrine. Number 2, 5th grade students will search for and select a public domain or Creative Commons licensed image of their choice using selected websites. Number 3, 5th grade students will use the image to create a new original creative work of their choice that demonstrates their knowledge of copyright laws and answers the 4 questions listed above. And number 4, 5th grade students will present their final product to the class. The second S in the Assure model is select strategies. I have selected some teacher-centered strategies, which include the presentation on copyright law, and student-centered strategies include reviewing what was learned with a partner, conducting an internet search, and creating an original work and presenting it. The second part of that second S in Assure is resources. The lesson begins with an original presentation of copyright law. The students will then use their Chromebooks to search one of 2 websites for an image. They may create their original work on their Chromebook or using other available materials in the library. Select resources. Number 1, align to standards, outcomes, and objectives. The presentation websites will be using pixabay.com and creativecommons.org, and Makerspace Materials provide the tools needed to meet the learning objectives. Number 2, accurate and current information. The presentation discusses current copyright law, and the website are updated frequently. Number 3, age-appropriate language. The presentation and websites are appropriate for 5th graders. Number 4, interest level and engagement. The presentation involves storytelling, song, and appealing visual elements. Students are able to search for an image of their choice and create an original work of their choice. Number 5, technical quality. The presentation and websites are of good technical quality. Number 6, ease of use. The websites are easy to use. Number 7, bias-free. The websites are bias-free. And number 8, user guide and directions. Students will be able to review copyright presentation, and the classroom teacher and librarian will be available to assist as needed. The U in the Assure model stands for Utilize Resources. So to preview the resources, Allison previews the websites pixabay.com and creativecommons.org that will be used. To prepare the resources, Allison I will prepare a presentation on copyright law using Canva and Screencast-O-Matic and ensure that there are Makerspace materials available for creating an original work. To prepare the environment, I will ensure that the presentation can be seen and heard from each table in the library. To prepare the learner, I will prepare students by ensuring that the students can access the presentation on the library webpage in order to review later, and review the learning objectives. Provide the learning experience. I will guide student learning by listening as students verbalize what they learned with a partner and assisting students in their online searches and creative projects. The R in the Assure model stands for Require Learner Participation. Student practice activities for this lesson include students verbalizing what they learned about copyright law with a partner, and students search for an image online and use that image to create an original work. For feedback, the students will present their original works and receive verbal feedback from peers and an evaluation in the form of a rubric from the teacher or librarian. The E in the Assure model stands for Evaluate and Revise. Assessment of learner achievement. I will use the rubric to evaluate the final product in the following categories: image used, questions answered, creativity, and presentation. Evaluation of strategies and resources. I will discuss with the students and their classroom teacher whether they enjoyed the activity and feel confident in their knowledge of copyright laws. And revision. Based on feedback received from the students and classroom teacher, I will adjust the lesson and resources as needed. In conclusion, I just want to clarify that when the students are creating their original creative work, they have the option to do whatever they would like. They can do a poem, they can do a song, they can do a picture, they can do a story, and they can do it either on their Chromebooks or using Makerspace materials that are available, so that there is a lot of student choice. And I kind of gave them an example of that in the song that I wrote and did during my presentation.